Hi there, this is a screencast designed to be used by instructors of Front Range Community College nursing hybrid courses. What I've done is I've developed a form using a new tool in Desire to Learn called Analytics, which creates an export about all of your student activity in a course. Um, in the cases where I don't know which courses have been active, I have just grabbed all the hybrid courses in NUA from that campus. Let's take a look here. What will happen is if we agree that this is of some value to you, I will email to you at a specific time a message that includes a file like this one. Um, and it's a CSV file. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it when you receive it, and it'll ask you to open or save. I would ask that you save it so that you control where it's saved. I save mine into My Documents. Once we do that, we will open up My Documents and yeah, and let's see. I'm going to refresh, and there it is. Okay, we'll double click on it. It should open in Excel. Alright, once it's in Excel, you're going to recognize CSV files always come in without any formatting. Here are the steps I'd like to offer for you to take this raw data that I'm giving you and turn it into a form that perhaps can be of some more use to you. The first thing I do is I highlight and delete the first row of the file. I'm going to be using the second row, the new first row, to be column titles. The second thing we're going to do is I'm going to select all and double click between any two of the columns. What I'm really asking is to be able to read all of the content, and when you double click, it expands the width of a column to fit the largest item so you don't have any partial open frames. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some management of the data. So in Excel, we can go to Data and ask to sort. You may want to go ahead and click the My Data Has Headers item so that we can keep those nice column titles. And we're going to sort by session start date, oldest to newest. And here is all the data from all of these students. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down until I get past the point at which there is viable data. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and choose the row. This is just more labels. They get put in periodically for us. Now I'm going to scroll down further, and I see here's some students that don't have any start and end dates. They basically never entered into the class. They never started a session, so we don't need their data anyway. So I'm going to keep scrolling down, and when I notice that I clicked at the top of this not useful data area, and I'm going to hold down Shift and click at the bottom of it. And that highlights everything in between, and I'm going to go back to the Home tab and press Delete. Okay, so I've gotten rid of all the junk. Now all I've got left is real data. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button up here in the upper left hand corner of the spreadsheet to select all again, and I'll return to the Data File tab, and I'll choose Sort again. This time I'm going to sort by full name, each person's name. I'm going to add a level, and I'm going to go ahead and also sort by session start date and click OK. And now I can see alphabetically by the full name. I can see the person, their course code. Again, because there was more than one course at Larimer that was offered, I included the course code so we could separate who's in which class. Start and end date, and the total session length in minutes. This is an estimation that does not take into account the seconds very accurately. It chops it off. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the session lengths in minutes, and I'm going to add an extra column that isn't possible in the report that we have to do ourselves. I'm just going to call it hours, and I will click in the first cell there, and I'll type equals, which tells it the calculation's coming, and I will click in the cell that I want to talk about and then type divided by 60. In other words, 60 minutes in an hour. And I can see that 10 minutes is that much of an hour. And now I'm going to take that, and I'm going to, if I have a cell that I want to copy the format of, this formula is what I'm really looking for. I can drag this dot at the bottom right corner down, 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 and I'll go ahead and do that now. And that gives me totals all the way through. So let's just check to see if it's doing what we think. 136 minutes is 2¼ hours. 52 minutes is not quite 1 hour. Good. It looks like it's doing what we want. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, and I've already got it sorted, but now I'm going to use a new tool called Subtotal. Subtotal is great. It lets me break down by name, and I want to do sums. And I want the sums to total the number of minutes and the number of hours that each student has done. And it'll go ahead and put a summary below the data. When I click OK, it does it. It doesn't look any different, except as we get to the end of each student's area, it gives us a total of their minutes and hours. So I can see that this student had a total of 6,700 minutes and 111.2 hours. And you can decide if at that stage of the class that's sufficient or not. Not. The other thing we can do is we can also do additional calculations. For example, if I wanted to look what happened last week, I'm going to return to my calendar and I'm going to pick a week. So let's say the week of the 5th through the 9th, except I know in some cases we go from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. So let's say from the 30th of June to the 6th of July will be our example. So I'm going to go and find anything happening on the 30th of June down to the 6th of July. Great, I've got a week. So I'm going to do a calculation, which is the sum of everything happening between the 30th and the 6th, in parentheses, return. So this student had 14 hours in the class during this week. Okay. I can do that whenever I want. That's some manual editing that you'll have to do. Finally, I can make some cosmetic changes, like go ahead and highlight and make things bold. And I can also collapse all the students this way until I find the student I want to talk about. I was really interested in seeing what happened with Chelsea McLean. I can click on the plus. I can see Chelsea McLean's totals and all of her sessions by date in chronological order. I hope that this is helpful. I'd be happy to work with any one of you at any time if you'd like me to work through this with you hands-on. The goal was just to give you a snapshot of things that you can do with analytics. The one problem that we've identified is that there is a lag of, I think, roughly 3 to 4 days before the data from the enrollments gets populated into the analytics database. So we cannot do this immediately in every case. So that may play some role as to how viable this tool is for you. I'm going to go ahead and email these documents before and after to each of you so that you can have a look, and maybe we could plan a conference call or something like that so that we can talk about next steps. Thanks so much.